SaintsKnight here, welcoming you guys back to the channel here with another episode of the F1 Show. And today, this episode is about the first race of the 2018 Formula 1 World Championship, which happened not yesterday, but a week ago on Sunday, which was the Australian Grand Prix, which happened in Melbourne, actually. Now, this Grand Prix, whether you like it or you hate it, was a really, really eventful one. Now, and today's episode is actually going to be us talking about it, for those, actually recapping it for those who haven't yet seen it, and diving into like the nitty gritty of it and what I personally thought of the race. Actually, the entire weekend, actually. So without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, if you do want to keep seeing the F1 show on the channel, you know what to do. Don't forget to smash that thumbs up button right below the title here. So let's begin with qualifying, actually, because in practice nothing really major happened. So in qualifying, what I noticed from all the drivers, if we look at this chart here, of all the times here, all of the drivers were all using ultra soft tire compound, which if you're new, which if you don't know, is actually only the second fastest tire compound in F1. The first, of course, being the Hypersofts. Actually, I think the pink. Hypersofts are the pink tire compound, and as you can see from here, the ultra softs are purple. Now, and also, with no surprise to anyone, Mercedes were on top form. Well, one of their drivers was on top form, actually, Lewis Hamilton, who qualified in first place with a time of 1 minute 21.1 on the Ultrasofts. Closely following behind him was Kimi Räikkönen for Ferrari with 1 minute 21.8, or to be specific, about 0.664 seconds slower than Hamilton. My personal bet, Verstappen finished fourth in Red Bull with a time of 1 minute 21.879, which is about 7.15 seconds slower than pole position. Which on that, Ferrari, after qualifying, Ferrari was actually complaining about Mercedes and how their whole quote-unquote party feature mode meant. Essentially, what the party mode feature is that actually is a secret mixture developed by Mercedes, which helps their cars go faster, which they only use for qualifying. So as you can tell, right now, at the time of recording, this is currently being investigated by the FIA, which is the governing body of Formula 1, who handle these sorts of internal affairs. Now, race day, which was a really, really eventful one. How eventful, you may ask? Well, it was actually eventful that, as you can see from this chart on my right, actually this grid on my right, that 20 drivers, what you gotta know is 20 drivers start each race in Formula 1. And in this race, only 15 of them finished. That's right, five drivers were DNF because of engine failure, which was a crushing blow for Haas, because both their drivers got DNF, which means they get no points. Also, Gasly, Ericsson, and Sorokin for Williams also DNF'd, which, I mean, wow, Williams are a really good team. How the hell one of their cars got DNF? I have no idea. Meanwhile, up at the front of the pack, actually, it was a really, really close race between the blood red Ferrari driven by Sebastian Vettel and the silver arrow driven by Lewis Hamilton. And honestly, it was touch and go for a little bit there, but honestly, overall though, Vettel actually won came first in the Australian Grand Prix with just one pit stop, actually, which was a good strategy. He went from here, as you can see here, from ultra softs to the soft tire compound, which meant he could actually go harder for longer. With Hamilton behind him, with actually a surprising moment actually was when we found out how much faster Vettel was going. to Hamilton, and that was about, according to this, a little over 5 seconds, which honestly is which in Formula One is a lifetime, which means that it really is faster, because and apparently Mercedes said that apparently Hamilton's car was experiencing some engine problems and all that sort of stuff, so that's why he finished about 5.36 seconds slower. But apart from that's not even the most surprising part. The most surprising part is that McLaren, the team last year that either that didn't finish in the points or didn't finish a race in general, one of their drivers, Fernando Alonso, actually finished 5th place. He actually finished in the points ahead of the Red Bull Max Verstappen, who himself had a really disastrous race after about, I think, lap 6 or lap 7, spinning out in turn 1, which really started him to lose places, which really cost him the race, in my opinion. Overall, though, this race in Australia, whether you like it or hate it, marks the start of probably one of the most interesting Formula One World Championships I think there's been in plenty of years. I mean, last year's wasn't really that interesting because, Hamilton won. Hamilton, the silver arrows were absolutely dominating left, right, centre. Apart from maybe the Australian Grand Prix, which again Vettel won actually. But apart from that, the silver arrows were just dominating. I like this. You see, a team that isn't AMG winning, or a driver that's not Vettel. I'm disappointed in Red Bull for Max Verstappen, but my driver Max Verstappen, but I still maintain Verstappen still has a chance. I still think that Verstappen could actually potentially win the World Championship, because not only is the car not only are Red Bull actually making improvements to the car for the next Grand Prix, which is in Bahrain, by the way. Stay tuned for a video on that. But Verstappen is probably the best driver out there on the grid. Out there, ever. So if the Australian Grand Prix is just a small taste of what the 2018 Formula One World Championship is going to be, then I, for one, am excited to see where it ends up. So that was a basic rundown on the Australian Grand Prix. What did you guys think of the race? Do you think a certain driver should have won? Do you feel some sympathy for the Haas drivers? Do you think, fuck you Hamilton, you don't deserve any points? Or whatever you think, leave your thoughts down below in the comments. And apart from that, I'm afraid that is all the time we have for today. I hope you guys did enjoy that. If you did, please smash the thumbs up button, subscribe if you're new to the channel, and if you're not new, then don't forget to turn on your post notification. Simple to do, really. All you gotta do is click the bell icon next to the subscribe button, tick the box enabling all notifications to the channel, press save, then boom. You get instant notifications on when we go live or when we post a new video. And apart from that, guys, we'll see you in the next video. So till then, guys, as always, peace.